Good evening, everybody. Dadman Wogan 55 coming to you live with a couple people in the background. Yes, it is May the 4th. May the 4th be with you. Of course, that's also the subject to the debate for a lot of old school Star Wars fans versus the other day in May. We'll explore a little bit later. But hey, we will get to it. We'll see who all shows up tonight. Like I said, impromptu, late stream tonight. But hey, the more the merrier. We'll see what happens. But first of all, let me bring in the first person to helping us tonight, who is the cause of this stream, who actually like, Dad, man, do you want to do this stream? And it's like, damn it, Mark. Well, hey, it's Mark D with a C. Hey, I get corrupted tonight with the misses away.
Yeah, yes. Blame Mark. Yep. Blame, actually, you will have a stream to my dead man. You will stream tonight and talk about Star Wars.
Yes.
My original Darth Vader. He's lost some of his oomph there. He's got no lightsaber, but he doesn't need one.
Oh yeah, remember the old was it plastic capes? I mean, they were.
Yeah, no, this is the original. This is one of the original 12 card back figures. So this is from these are the original figures. Yep. So yes, and I know Ben, he stole Luke's lightsaber. But I have to get a replacement saber. So those are two of my original, and I think this is the original 12 back R2D2.
It is. It is.
You can tell.
Oh yeah.
Pretty sure it is, but you're the Star Wars expert.
It does not have the center leg, and it's got that. Yes, that is. And actually, does it still click or not?
Let's see. There's no click.
Okay, it kind of dies over time, but yeah, it's okay. Yeah. It used to click at some point, but there you go.
Yeah, and the big hole in the bottom. I think that I was reading. Yep. You can tell the hole is bigger if it's the original, right?
Yeah, exactly. There's no leg.
I think, right?
Yeah.
Yep. No, but they said there's one with a later one had like a smaller hole.
Right. Yeah.
Smaller.
Yeah. But
smaller hole. Yeah.
Yeah. Because see, that went with the Kenner mail-in rebate thing where you could get the 12 people to stand on top of it in front of the card, which I still have.
You still have it, right?
Somewhere. Yep, I still have that around here somewhere. Speaking of somebody who never ages and has got the smooth voice of late night for jazz, it's the great Alaska Jeff. Jeff, how are you?
Never ages. Wow, that's a great title. I will remember that.
No, you're not old like Mark and me, where we just catching up with us by the moment. But how are you doing today, Jeff?
I'm doing fine and dandy. I saw that you're doing this, and I realized, oh, hey, I got to get in on that.
I love it. I appreciate it. Well, like I said, you can blame Mark with the thing. Mark, before we get off into stuff like that, I got to ask you about the hat. You wear that hat quite often. What does the D stand for? I know your last name, but
Mark D, right? Yeah. So no, the story behind the hat was we'd gone to Universal. It was a Warner Brothers studio, and I got a Big Bang Theory hat, and I love the Big Bang Theory. I know some nerds don't like it, but I love it. So I had this really cool Big Bang Theory hat I got at the Warner Brothers store, and we're on Disneyland, a ride at Disneyland the next day or whatever, and kid's like, Dad, you gotta take the hat off. It's gonna blow. I'm like, no, the hat will stay on. It'll stay on. And of course, the kids are right. You know, we're on one of the water raft rides, and damn it, they were right. And I lost the hat, so I went into the Disney store. And of course, I'm mostly, don't have a lot of hair left. So I went into the Disney store, and I'm like, oh, I gotta buy. There's always a store right out at every attraction. Like, I gotta buy a hat. And D for Mark D. For my last name. Mm-hmm. So I'm buying it. And I told the cashier, I said, oh yeah. My hat went into the river, went into the ride. I'm like, do you have a chance to get it? And she's like, oh, well, we'll put your name down. And then she came back and she's like, well, the hat is free on us. She's like, no charge for the hat. So that was pretty, that's how you keep a customer happy, when, you're spending a lot of money there. What's a hat cost them? But she went, I guess, talked to the manager and said, oh, this nice gentleman lost his hat on the ride, and they comped me a hat. So that's what I've had.
That's good.
Did you say that was?
What ride?
Yeah.
It was a California Adventure. And what's the, like a log flume? No, you're on the round. You're in circular little craft there, and you're going through the rapids in the California Adventure.
Okay.
What ride
I've
is
not
that?
been to California Adventure, so I wouldn't know that one.
Yeah,
Dadman's our theme park expert, but do they have that one?
I've never been there though. I don't think it would be Splash Mountain. Splash Mountain was
It's
at
not
the
Splash
Disneyland.
Mountain. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not
Grizzly
Splash.
River Run. That's
Yeah,
it.
Buddy Hepburn. Yes, there you go. Grizzly River Run. There's Buddy.
There, but I
He
forgot.
knows. Yes.
Thank you, guys.
Yes,
Yeah,
but listen, I don't know what to do. This kind of scares me. We have a famous guest that popped up in our back chat. Now, only certain people have the
famous.
link. I'm like, yeah, exactly. It's my oldest kid's favorite Jedi.
Wow.
Mark, are you frozen or something or what?
Did I freeze up? It's people have been telling me I've been freezing up lately.
Okay. All right. Well, anyway.
Now am I back now?
Yeah, you're back now. All right. Well, look, it's the folks. You know,
I'm squirrely.
Well, this guy talking about tentacles has plenty of tentacles. He's more than a Twi'lek because he's got a bunch of them. That's the one, the great Jedi Master, Kit Fisto. Hello, Kit Fisto.
Wow.
What's up?
Wes Cagle, how are you tonight? I love it. I
thought it was really Kit Fisto. Damn it! No, I'm glad to see you, but I was hoping it was Kit.
Well, we could all pick Jedi or something, but yeah, that's my oldest kid's favorite Jedi. It was really
Kit Fisto.
Cool. Yep, Kit Fisto.
Yeah.
Back when, and of course, then she became Ayla Sakura. So it's like, hey, she got two great Jedi there. So, well, let's do something real quick. Let's go ahead and say hi to everybody in the chat. It's backed up here. Legatus Legionize. I mean, it says that we only got 3, but I think we got more here. But hey, Legatus, good to see you tonight. Hey, how are you? Yes, may the force be with you. Or use the Schwartz. We can even talk a little Spaceballs too tonight if you want to and stuff. Legatus says, yes, this is one of the debates. We might touch on this a little bit later. A lot of people, old schoolers, consider May 25th the Star Wars Day because it was the first day Star Wars hit the theaters. So we can kick that around a little bit tonight. Hello, Citrus. Howdy, fruitcakes. The best spelling of fruitcakes anywhere on the internet. Good to see you, Lemon Pie, tonight. Of course, Jeff is here. Let's see. Buddy Hepburn, welcome again. Grizzly River Run. I knew if anybody would know, it would be Buddy. So, exactly. So, Buddy says Kit Fisto is the best prequel trilogy Jedi thanks to the 2003 Clone Wars. Yes, the original Clone Wars. That's the Tchaikovsky. I believe. Go ahead, Wes.
They used him for a special assignment in that where he had to go and fight the on Mon Calamari. That we were trying to the Alliance was trying to take a side in that civil war between the two races on that planet. So
yeah, I tell you what, it was really cool to see you come in with Kit Fisto. That was like I said, it's my kid's favorite Jedi.
Kit Fisto's bad. I'm telling you, nobody wields a lightsaber and fights in a duel better than Kit Fisto, except maybe Maul.
Oh God! Please.
I'm telling you, I don't care that guy.
Well, Maul was a great fighter, until he got sliced in half.
Oh God, that's the greatest. That's the greatest duel ever between the three.
I do agree. I do agree with it. I agree with. I'm sorry that I'm so stained on him because of what they did after that. It's just crazy.
It's not the before; it's the after, right?
Yeah.
Kit Fisto is his number 2 overall for Buddy, and with Cal Kestis is number 1. I'm not sure it was Cal Kestis. Is that a newer Jedi? I'm not familiar with that name. But hey, let's take a look back at memory lane. Let's see. Let's go with the original, the one that started all, the Star Wars in 1977. What is your earliest memory of seeing the movie, and did you see it in the theater? Go ahead, Mark. I'll let you start.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Yeah. Well, I was begging my dad to go see the movie with my sister. We both wanted to see it. So I'm guessing I saw it, I think, sometime in the summer of 77. And we kept saying, we got to go see Star Wars. We got to go see. Everyone's seeing Star Wars, Dad. And my dad sounded like Arnold Schwarzenegger. So he's like, I don't want to take you to see this crap. It's going to be a horrible movie. The stupid fake space swords and lasers, and it's going to be horrible. And I don't want to see this, So we begged him, and of course, ended up going there. Now the movie theater on the Avenue, Main Street, it's now an Apple store. So sometimes whenever I go in there, I'm like, was this where I was sitting when I got to see Star Wars? So as like an 8-year-old kid, it blew you away. You have the space. First of all, I've only seen a couple movies. I think a couple of Disney movies, and you see this, the first spaceship coming in overhead, and then there's another, then the bigger spaceship. Like you see the first ship, the Corellian, was it Dadman, the Corellian cruiser, and then it's a bigger, then the Star Destroyer comes in.
It's not a Corellian. It's a Tantive 4. Blockade
the Tantive 4,
runner.
Blockade runner. So, and then you think that's a big ship. Then the other ship comes over, and just the sound and the theaters, and it was just like a religious experience. No offense to my local priest. I mean, it was just one of those things that was just so incredible. The effects looked so amazing.
Yeah.
And then it was a movie for everyone, right? My sister loved Princess Leia. The space pirate. But it's a space fantasy, and you had good versus evil, the same basic archetype story, but it's told with the backdrop of science fiction and R2D2 and C3PO, the robots. And I felt like I was like the coolest kid in the world when I went to school on Monday. Like, I saw Star Wars and you haven't. I mean, it was just, you can't say how big that movie was unless you lived through it, if you're younger. And it's the number 2 grossing movie of all time behind Gone with the Wind. So if you look up, taking inflation into account, so Gone with the Wind sold I was just looking it up, 200 million tickets. I think Star Wars, no bloody number 4, New Hope, was I think 170 million, 160 million. You call, if you go to Box Office Mojo, you got to look at what's for inflation. So it's just it's just a massive hit, and it took over culture, society, everything was Star Wars. I mean, it was just everywhere. And then back then there were no cineplexes where at like 10, 12 screens could be showing the movie. So like our local movie theater in town, we happened to go, I think, on a matinee, so it wasn't crowded that day, and it was months after it opened. But places like, they're just looking, the lines are on the block around the movie theater, which I don't think you ever see that today, right? I mean, now you can buy tickets online, and the multiplexes, people were getting turned away from going to see the movie. It's just unbelievable.
Hey, B from O, good to see you tonight. And yeah, Mark, where I saw it might have had 2, 3, or 4 theaters at the most. It was very small. What about you, Wes? What about when you first saw your first memories? And folks in the chat, feel free to share your memories of the original Star Wars movie if you'd like to, where you saw it and all. Go ahead, Wes.
I was kind of young. That was 77, so I was only 8.
Oh man, you're old too.
Yep.
Yeah. No. I remember with God, I can't remember the first time we went, and I don't think the lines were super long just yet, because we saw it right when it first came out, early, and then it was a race. I can remember a race. Everybody was trying to see how many times they could see it. I was like, well, I saw it 5 times. I saw it 8 times. And one kid in my class comes, he's like, I've already seen it 50. I'm like, get the hell out of here. You saw it 50 times. I do remember the one of the last times we saw it, because I always said I saw it 6.5 times, because we went to a drive-in. And when you go, I don't know if you guys remember this, but when you used to go to a drive-in, you'd pay, and then there was usually the main movie. Then they had a second movie, and then they played the main movie again, and they just played over. And you saw as many as you wanted. You just had to stay there. So we saw Star Wars, and then we saw this movie called, it was a American dub Japanese movie called like either Tidal Wave or Tsunami. I can't remember what it was. It was bad. It was bad. But we saw that, and then we got to see the second one. We were like, all right, we get to see it again. Star Wars comes back on, and my youngest brother, who was, oh God, if I was 8, he would have only been 2. So he had fallen asleep during the second movie, and he wakes up, and now he's wet. So my mom's like, we got to go. I don't have the stuff to change him here. We got to.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, we got to go. And so we had to bug out just as Luke was flying across the Jutland Waste looking for R2 on the land speeder.
No
like,
way.
Yeah.
By the way, Mrs. Hello, relax, rest well. Please stay in and lurk and let us put you to sleep with our great, gorgeous voices. And hey, Gap After Dark, great
Oh,
to see you, dude.
there's only
Gap's here.
there's only two gorgeous voices here, Dad, man. I don't know about you, but me and you don't have good voices.
Speak for yourself. I got a sexy voice. I'm too sexy for my cat. But hey, Jeff, of course, nobody can compete with Jeff these days. But good to see a Gap and Fallout Dave is here. Hey, Dave, welcome
Hey,
in.
guys.
Folks, we're talking right now about the original Star Wars, when you first saw it, what your first exposures were to it. So feel free to share in the chat. I know that somebody said they saw it in the theater. Slim Pie did say that too. Jeff, now you're the youngster of the bunch, never aging.
Dorian Gray.
Yeah. So
Don't wreck the picture in the house. Yep.
Have you ever watched it in the theater, like in any of the re-releases, or have you only watched Star Wars like on television or at home?
So there was a re-release that took place, but I never got to see it. Only time I've ever seen it has been at home, and not even group events. It was only with family. And the first time I saw it was on a highly edited version that was on VHS, because my mother didn't want us to see the whole thing, so she had her finger on the fast forward button.
No way.
The amount that I saw was probably, looking back on it, it was probably 30%. So yeah, it was a highly abbreviated, and I only got to see that much of A New Hope, and then I didn't get to see anything else until until there was the home release of Episode 1, and then we got to see the rest of the stuff.
Episode 1, like Phantom Menace?
Yep.
Wow.
So up until then, I didn't get to see anything of Star Wars, and so me and my brother were still saturated with it. It was like we had seen the movies, and so there was the toys everywhere, there was the games everywhere, so we were actually quite familiar with it, but we were not familiar with the plot. And so it was an interesting experience getting the chance to have that saturation, because now most youngsters are going to be experiencing that with all sorts of movies. But up until then, no one had really kind of had that cultural shock of where you have a new story that just takes the whole world by storm, and then everybody afterwards just has to, be saturated with it from their youth until they finally get the chance to see it.
Yeah, wow. I mean, you're a rarity. I mean, with that, but that's interesting.
Yeah, the edited mom cut. I love it. Yep.
Oh my gosh, was there?
I mean, what was in it that was like? I can't even remember anything that was the original Star Wars.
Well, you do have that. You have the death scene. Aunt Beru and Uncle Owen. There, that was that kind of for the time.
That was graphic. More, yeah.
But I mean, was there any particular reasons, Jeff?
Oh, there's all sorts of things.
Okay.
But it was mostly trying to be. She was trying to be careful, and understandably so. We were fairly young. I was 10 years old when I got to see that 30% abbreviated version. But then we never got the chance to kind of do a follow-up, because then we ended up traveling, and it became kind of difficult to do that. And so I don't actually think I saw the entire trilogy until I was 13.
You had a rough youth.
No, it was a highly blessed youth. Because what I found interesting was, like I said, we were saturated with the story everywhere.
Yeah.
So we played games with it. We had all the toys with it. And so it actually allowed my brother and I to have our imaginations kind of grow as a result. We had the tools, and then we kind of had to fill in the pieces. So it allowed our imagination to really flourish well.
Well, folks, make sure you hit that like button. Thanks for being here. Make sure you're subscribed. We got Jeff, Mark, and Kit Fisto. God, West, whoever he is. Sorry, West. You got me thrown off of that
the name,
the name and the fake avatar. But listen, folks, thank you for your support. We're only on YouTube tonight. Share out the stream if you don't mind. The missus is catching up to me. She's only like 14 subs behind me. We got to keep her off my heels. And hello to the lovely Sherry. Hello, Sherry. How are you tonight? Hopefully you're doing well. And what we're talking about is Star Wars. Right now, we're still focused on the original movie. First time we've seen it, or what our original thoughts were. So, Sherry, feel free to opine. Anybody else, share your thoughts with us. Well, Star Wars 1977, came out when I was 6. I didn't turn 7 till June like Mark. Mark, you're freezing all the time. It's kind of creepy.
I don't know why.
It's crazy, but
let me turn the camera off, I guess.
There you go. Well, either way,
I know why it's been doing that. Yeah, well, I'll put it back on when I'm showing stuff.
The problem is if it gets stuck in a weird pose, you know.
Yeah, I'm like with hair,
yeah, exactly.
Like I gotta smile. If it freezes, it's not so bad.
Or if you had that judgment thing, or everybody's looking up your nose. But
yeah.
I watched it when I was 6, turning 7. You know, and the thing that stuck with me forever was I didn't even see the marketing or commercials for it. All I remember seeing in the newspaper, that old black and white ad in the newspaper when you saw Luke and Leia and Darth Vader in the back, that iconic scene on black and white. And then I wanted to see that movie for, just from that ad. And it's the only movie I've ever watched with my dad's parents and my mom and dad. That's the biggest memory that I have. I remember the theater that's obviously not there. It maybe had 3 screens, 4 at most. And it was a small theater, but that's what people did at the time. And that's all that was available. And I don't remember much about that night and that experience. I just remember having seen it. I remember that my grandparents and parents were there. And what was so cool was that I was like cinema verite with R2-D2 and C-3PO, because I tell you, my grandmother was the neurotic, kind of crazy, always uptight C-3PO, and my granddad was the hard-headed R2, just going to do whatever the hell he's going to do. It's like, it just, if you knew him, you would understand the connection. It was so great. And that's like you said, Mark, what stood out to me was that iconic opening. You had the fanfare. Then that theme hits you, and then the words scrolling up, and then you go to the star, and then you got the Tantive 4 coming through, then the Imperial Star Destroyer coming from behind. Really, one of the greatest openings, definitely that I'd seen to that point, but still with me, one of the greatest openings to any movie anywhere. I mean, are there any other movies that y'all think might compare to that opening?
Mm-hmm. Well, I was at Temple of Doom for opening night, and that number there with Anything Goes was freaking phenomenal. And the cool. Theater was like, I was there, and it was like you barely got in. It was standing, everyone was cheering, going nuts. So I'm not saying the movies are comparable, but just that the theater experience, was just one of the best all-time theater experiences, because everyone was just so stoked to see another, an indie film.
That opening. That Broadway chorus opening, people really liked.
Oh, people went nuts! The crowd was going crazy. Well, with all the action. Once the action starts and the diamond hits the ground and the ice is going and all the fights and the shield is going, and then they jump out the building and the car chase, and then they're into the Ford Tri-Motor, and then they go off they jump out the tri. Oh, I mean, the theater, it was like being at a rock concert or a sporting event. People were going nuts.
See, I got
it was great. It was so much fun. I mean, it would have been as good if the theater wasn't that crazy, I have to say. So seeing an opening night, and you're all plus we were online for like 6 hours waiting to freaking get into the movie theater. So you're online, you go there early and you wait online for like 6 hours, and you're hoping you get into the movie theater. You don't know if you're going to get in because how many tickets and what spot you're online. And then you finally get in and you're all amped up and you're going crazy. And it was, if I'd seen it, in an empty theater, a month later, would have not been as good. But of all my theater experiences, that's one I just always remember.
That is one of the least. That is one of the openings I never expected you to say, because I hated that opening, because when I first saw it, I was like, What? I want Indiana Jones in an adventure, not on some blonde singing a chorus line song. And
Well, Dadman, I think I noticed some other things about someone dancing in that scene that you didn't notice.
I take my adventure movies seriously. There's no time for romance.
Skip the kissing part. Skip the kissing part.
I'm going to jump to this because my oldest kid watched Attack of the Clones, which is considered the weakest of the 3 prequel movies. 2.5 hours. That kid watched it was only 2.5 years old and watched it twice in the movie theater.
Wow.
And then the second time they looked at me because it was on the boot. She looked at me and said, "Daddy, when are they going to quit romancing and get back to fighting?"
Yeah. Right. No time for love, Dr. Jones.
The dialogue in that movie so clunky that there was no chemistry between those two actors. No. Hamill and Fisher had great chemistry, and everyone in that original cast, but and there was a lot of pressure on them. But Padme, what's her name? Forget the actress's name.
Natalie Portman.
Portman, thank you. She was even worse than I think that was her worst acting performance ever.
She's
so horrible in those.
And she's good in a lot of other things.
Yeah, like usually she's good.
Vendetta, she was great. Those movies,
she was terrible. She was terrible.
Well, Jeff, what do you think?
If I may insert, actually,
go ahead.
I think it had to do with the lack of a coordinator for the actors. So I remember hearing someone who was doing a critique of those characters in the prequels and saying, why do they feel so wooden compared to the original films? And it wasn't necessarily that they had a lack of talent, because there was following projects that they worked on that they actually did very well. So thus the question is raised, well, why did that happen for Star Wars? And the theory goes is that they didn't have somebody who was able to help coach them in their preparation. It was so action focused that the focus on trying to make sure that their performances were almost Shakespearean was kind of thrown out the door. And George Lucas could have gotten that to come out of him. He had done it in the past, but he was focused on the technology so much that I think it very much caused the rest of the acting to suffer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because the lightsaber fights were amazing in those prequels. So it was just Hayden Christensen. He was so good, and there we go.
Very fancy.
There you go, lightsaber.
Hayden, when you watch the Ahsoka series and you see that Hayden hasn't lost any of his skill, he swept the floor with Ahsoka in that series, even though they're trying to make it look like she's on par and kind of becomes better at a moment. No. If you look at his performance, he never lost his sword fighting skill.
Yeah, you look at some of those the sword fights, especially in Ahsoka, and it's just Sabine is just so horrible in some of those fights, and just the choreography. And then we want to stay positive, like Dadman said in the beginning, but that's why I love. We had that original fight in the first Star Wars at the end with Ben and Darth Vader, which was phenomenal. But have you ever seen the fan edit where they add a new Darth Vader and a new Ben? It's inserted into Star Wars, and it's kind of like it meshes into the fight, and it's just this wonderful, up in the ante on their skills, and like we would imagine they would have fought later, because the fight between Darth and Luke and Return of the Jedi is phenomenal. And of course some of the prequels started the prequels, that first scene, talking about opening scenes, when they have the fight with Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon are on the Trade Federation, and they're being attacked by the droids, and that opening scene, and you're just watching them fight, and you're like, oh, this is so freaking cool. Those lightsaber duels were amazing in those movies. But clones, that's a great point, Jeff, because probably they're so focused on the tech and everything else that they forgot, hey, maybe we've got to have some chemistry here between our leads.
You touched on something, though, about that original lightsaber duel between Obi-Wan and Darth Vader. It was limited, I think, based on technology and Kenobi, Alec Guinness's age, too. I mean, look what they did for training for Hayden and Obi-Wan there, because,
for hours,
and stuff. But back then, there was just, I think you barely had a fight. It really was like very tepid. Not even really a duel per se, but at the time it was great. It was great. It's what we wanted, and
yeah.
Then as we saw it, we got a little bit more of a lightsaber battle in Empire. Then we got a really good lightsaber battle in Jedi at that point.
Yeah, they got better. Yeah, they definitely got better. But those fights, it worked. The first lightsaber fight worked, but then when you watch, you get kind of spoiled by how good the duels are later. But I'm going to put this in the private chat, and you guys can watch this and share this link out. It's a fan film, but it's freaking phenomenal. So it's imagining, how they would fight, with how the lightsaber duels evolved. And it's really kick-ass. I would like to make like a version of Star Wars and just edit this into it because it's just so damn good.
Now, see, there's one with Revenge of the Sith with excellent. Yeah, we will come back to that one too. But yeah, the only well, let me not get ahead of it. We're going to kind of go in some order with things, so we will work our way to that very, very soon. But any other thoughts on the first movie? I mean, because it was like iconic. You had the music, and then it launched this toy sales. I mean, we did not really have.
Before we move on, we were talking about the opening scene, and you asked about what you thought was more, what other movies might have been that way. Mark mentioned the Temple of Doom. Now that movie was I saw that one before I saw Raiders.
Okay.
And I'm telling you, I saw that one in the theater. I was blown away because there was almost no lull in that movie. It was like from one action scene to the next, to the next, to the next. There was a few points in there where they had to do exposition. They had to, explain where they were going, but it was like action nonstop. Raiders was a little bit slower paced. However, if you're talking about opening scenes, one of the most iconic, greatest reveal scenes, character reveals of all time in all of cinema has to be when the opening sequence in Raiders, where you don't see Indy's face for the first, I don't know, what is it? Several minutes, until he steps into the light after he whips the gun out of the guy's hand who tries to betray him, shoot him in the back. It's somebody compared it to like the old black and white films with like with Bogart. He kind of steps in. It was masterfully done, the opening sequence of Raiders.
Now, see, I like that opening compared to the Temple of Doom with the Broadway show.
I'm sorry, I like the Broadway. I love that number. I love that song, so that's why I like that number so much.
Well, that's good. Well, let me all right. So why get some other thoughts? Because we talked about music. I mean, really, it's the first movie that really hit me with the music. But of course, I was young then. But also, what happened with toy sales? I mean, I don't remember toy sales before that, but I always remember, in contrast with today, where there's no. I mean, the stuff hits Ollie's before it's in a month. There's so many baby Grogu's now that. One point they didn't have enough on the shelf, but back then it was a new thing. With the toy merchandise was just, I remember my excitement going to Montgomery Ward's or Sears, looking in the catalogs or going down the aisles trying to go. And a lot of times my mom would give me let me buy a character or something every once in a while. Christmas Day, my mom bought me the Millennium Falcon. That was like.
Wow, that was luck. Oh man, wow, that's a huge gift because my mom said only rich people had the Millennium Falcon. She says you're not getting that. It's too expensive.
I had all the figures, but I didn't have. I wanted the Falcon. I wanted the Death Star playset. I didn't get none of those. I had the figures.
Well, speaking of toys, of course, thanks to Mom, who I was just throwing under the bus, but. I have the original 1978 holiday season wish book from Sears. Which back then, this was the internet for us kids.
Yeah.
That
was the highlight of the year when that book came out.
Let's see if I can get it.
The Death Star station. I have that somewhere around here. I'm afraid a lot of it got lost, and it really makes me
I wanted
mad.
that so bad. The Death Star PlayStation had the trash compactor with the little.
Yep.
With the.
I got that. I got
yeah.
the Dianoga. I got that around here somewhere. It's like.
I'm sorry, it's tough to see, but if I can figure out left versus right. If I get my
I do have
fingers-
to say I did have the X-wing in addition to the figures. I did get the X-wing.
Yep. I got
No,
the X-Wing, the TIE
Snaggletooth.
Fighter. I
Look
got
at
the
those
X-Wing, the
prices.
TIE Fighter, and there's actually a woolly Chewbacca doll with a and there's a hard plastic Chewbacca with a bowcaster. So,
Yeah.
what, Jeff? Go ahead, Jeff.
I just remarking at the prices on those things.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're cheap now.
Yeah,
Now look at
Little Roman-
Snaggletooth. Snaggletooth was a Sears exclusive, and
Yeah.
he's painted a wrong color.
Yes,
he's the-
that's
So
Yes.
the Snaggletooth is worth, I think one sold for $40,000 mint or something.
Well, do you guys remember that year that Christmas rolled around? They were selling the 4 bounty hunters for the Moss Eisley station, Greedo, Snaggletooth, Walrus Man, and Hammerhead. But you didn't get them. You got a promissory note in the mail saying it's coming. You'll
That's
get
what
it.
Dadman has. That's what Dadman has for these figures. So the figures weren't ready for the movie. So of course these are the first. I thought I had sent away for the original 12 figures, and of course the vinyl cape.
Oh, you've got
like
the
they all do.
the vinyl cape. Yeah.
Well,
Nice.
yeah, these are from '77 or the
Now,
first batch.
Do you have the Jawa with the vinyl cape? Because
No, because if I did, I could. That's worth a lot. I was
I
gonna
had
just
I had
swear.
one of those. Unfortunately,
You had a vinyl cape Jawa.
Yeah, long time.
You traded
gone.
them to the other Jawas. Yeah, we showed these before, but those are my three original figures. I thought
Yeah, the only one I have
had.
left is Princess Leia. She's the only one I have left, and I don't have her cape. You
don't have her cape?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you could probably print the cape, but like here's
one thing
I mean,
is I lost my original Han Solo somewhere. I think somebody stole it.
Yeah. Kids would steal toys too from other kids.
Yeah.
And it wasn't really that it was a valuable thing back then. I always loved this Lego Luke.
But I love Han Solo
statue.
in the vest. I have to use Han
The
Solo
vest,
in Bespin, yeah. But let me go ahead while we're think of some memories for the first movie before we jump over to Empire. But I wanted to share some things too after you're done with Mark.
Yeah, I got it. Star Tours back before the dark times, before Disney bought Star Wars. So this is pretty old. This is from the 90s, but
absolutely
some of the things that are in my son's room. Yeah, just stole that out. Yeah.
Okay. Dave's saying I didn't see you play with your dolls again, West. So. Man. Is that
does it still make the noise when you push it?
This is a Lego, yeah.
Oh, it's a Lego one. Okay, I thought that was the original.
Yeah, Lego one, yeah, yeah.
Last time I tried mine, West, it didn't work.
Yeah, you used to push the and the original toy. You pushed the R2D2 down to open the wings, and had a little button in the back for shooting. Yeah.
Yeah, this is a pretty good Lego, I have to say. They did a nice job with this one. 3D printing a stand for it now.
Very nice.
So we can put it up. And then this, let me turn my camera for 1 second. I'm going to grab a really cool toy here.
Oh, wow. All right.
Now, I loved all those Star Wars, the ships. They were great, but, they didn't have the little shooting darts like the Battlestar Galactica ones, man.
Yeah, the ones that got
people,
recalled.
that's because people died, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
although Boba Fett did have a launching missile at one point until they recalled that.
Yep, that's worth a big. Well, that never shipped, but that was worth big bucks, right?
Wow.
Oh, I gotta dust this. These were on Dagobah too long. But yeah, so what happened? I guess was it my wife that was buying all these Star Wars toys, or was me? I can't remember. For the kids, but so of course you got the theme here. And then if you push down, let's see if I turn it. Red 5, I'm going in.
Nice.
Use the Force, Luke. And
Hello,
I didn't mind. And then
it's not.
Hey, Sashi.
But you know what? May the 4th be with you. But guess what? It's Revenge of the 5th today. Sashi, I'm sorry, Mark. Go ahead and play it again.
Yeah, so
nice.
That's it, and it lights up. Oh, let me do it again. Yeah.
Oh man.
Really nice toy. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and then R2D2 push his head down, and then his arms snap out,
Oh, cool.
which is cool. And you got a cool Luke figure. So, what was this? This was called. There was a whole line of Star Wars toys that they called. It was like a range that they called these. I'm trying to remember what it is, but
I don't know. But we got into the Galactic Heroes when the kids were younger.
yeah, that's what these. Yeah. Oh, Luke, don't break your helmet off. Yeah, like Galactic Heroes. This is a great line of toys for kids and adults alike.
They were mini type, and I tell you, we bought them at Disney when stuff. It was actually cool merchandise, and we really liked it. So,
yeah, this is really well done toy, as you can tell.
Well, X-wing Prius Epic, yeah. All right,
yeah, it's short.
All right, I want to show a few things here, folks. Now, do y'all remember Burger King with the glasses?
Yes.
I always remember McDonald's.
Tom, hey, Tom, welcome. Good to see you, Tom. How are you doing tonight? Good to see you, Tom. Hope you're doing well tonight. Yeah, the Burger King glasses. Well, guess what? We got them. There we go. We got Luke Skywalker with, of course, there's no lead in these,
Dadman got the lead out.
Yeah. Oh, I tell you, I drank in them growing up. I'm like, I want to drink in them. My mom's like, stop it. We're going to save them. And I'm like, I want to drink in them. But I will say my mom let me use them and my toys. She'd let me play with them all and all this stuff. But then when I grew out of it, she put it up, put them in boxes and everything else. Okay, cool, Tom. I'll be sure to check that. Thank you. But we got this because there's 3 sets. Because this is the original Star Wars. You got the Tatooine awesome. With the droids. You got Han and Chewie, and of course you got Darth Vader with Emperor. With Tark and the Stormtrooper there. I mean, they're really, really cool. But he said we're not allowed to touch ours. Yeah, mine's in a cabinet right now. So, yeah. Go back in time. Yeah, pick up what people want to get these days. So this is the first set of glass. This is from I'm not going to say, I've had these in reserve. These are 3 of the Empire's ones. I do not know what happened. Why I didn't get the picture of the 4th, but basically, we got Hoth. I loved Hoth. Everybody loved Hoth.
Those are great.
Yeah. You got Bespin here, and then of course you got Vader and Boba Fett here. So that was part of the second. And then this one, I actually won these on a contest, a local sports radio show, and basically I won a different prize, but the host knew I liked the shows that they wanted these glasses so much that they taught the other person into taking my prize. So that was cool.
Oh, you got like a set of glasses, or you got what was the choice between the?
That I don't remember what something or whatever.
Stunning. Yeah, and then like Star Wars glasses. Yeah.
Stunning was on a stream with Amanda earlier when I went all off on Darth Maul. It was Dave. Y'all should follow Amanda on Twitter.
That was a Dadman meltdown, man. Woo-hoo.
That wasn't even a rant. That was a meltdown. Profanities, and I mean, I went all loose. So I just, because it was Mary off and bang, and I ended up banging the question, which was Darth Maul, and I'm like, no way, no.
They tricked you into marrying Darth Maul. I mean, Darth Maul.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, you live in Hoth once a year. You're living up there. You're like Jeff up there in Canada. You got plenty of Hoth up there. Jeff, what about you? Does it feel like Hoth often or not?
Thankfully, not too terribly often. Although if I lived about 300 miles north, it would.
Yep. Yep. I do have that glass somewhere. I just didn't have it. Yes, Luke and Yogo on Dagobah, buddy.
You have it, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I got it somewhere. But yeah, like you said, he's not allowed to touch theirs. Oh, so we go here. These are some comics that I had. I got to show these to Clavi one time, because in the series, these were some of the earlier editions. 50 cents. Look at that. 50-cent comics.
Yep.
Were nice. These things are still decent. This is the Marvel Special Edition,
yeah,
which is really like the movie. Huge thing here.
I wish I had that. Yeah.
Well, what about this? LPs. There's not only the one thing that
Stacks of wax.
The one thing that I lost over the time was the 8-track player, the 8-track tape. I had an 8-track tape of the Star Wars soundtrack. But, of course, I got the sheet music. I know how to play dun 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 dun, and that's it. But yeah, they got all this stuff in here. There's the main title. Of course, this is a really fun piece that I like here. This is The Empire Strikes Back. It's the read-along books. They have the little record that looks like a 45 hole, but it's really 33 1/3. And you flip through the book as you go through. The read-along books. When you hear this, in this case, it had R2-D2 chirp, and then you move to the, you turn the page. Figgy plays. Hello, Jedi. I shall get my revenge tomorrow. Yes, we love that. Yes, good to see you, Figgy. As always, hope you're doing well tonight. Someone burns a giant CD. Yes, as always. Tom said, I got a Star Wars cookbook from where I was a kid somewhere. Yeah, cool. That's cool, Jedi cookbooks. Oh, gosh. Now, does it say now Princess Leia make out? No, I guess that was in Empire Strikes Back early in the game, in the movie, but no, it doesn't. But I will tell you, it does have an error in the book, in the read-along book, because what it says is Lord Vader on his starship, the Avenger. Well, no, the Avenger was the Admiral Nita, or Captain Nita was in charge of the Avenger, which lost the Millennium Falcon in the asteroid field, and who Darth Vader promptly terminated his employment with that.
He should have called human resources over that treatment.
Exactly. So, but this book had it, the Avenger, and I'm like, no, it's the Executor. But anyway, well, look, Figgy, see what I've heard, and we can talk about this a little bit too. The speculation about the incest. I mean, as I've heard it, that they really had not decided, and they were going to go that route, but then I guess they changed it at some point. I mean, what have you?
Yeah,
Jeff, have you heard anything on that?
Say that part again. It cut out
about the how Luke and Leia were originally supposed to be brothers and sisters, but then there was a change in the story time. Do you know much about that?
I know that George Lucas had a plan, and it all got thrown out the door when he was told he only gets to make one movie. And so he had originally 6 films planned, of which only 3 of them would be technologically possible of his time. And so he cut off the prequels. So thus he was left with the original trilogy, and the company still said, nope, too long. You get one movie, and if it fails, then we save our money. And so he abbreviated it, and so instead of, rather than having them, brother and sister as planned, he decided to just omit that part. That's why they don't go too terribly far into any sort of romance, because in his mind he still wanted to potentially continue the story, especially as they got closer to the final release. Gives him the ability to start dreaming again, even though he was on pins and needles that whole time.
Right. Mark, did you want to add in on that too?
Yeah. So my understanding was that they never were brother and sister, but it got changed to that later. And the George, was always making this movie, but this was kind of his ideas that were fleshed out. As, in terms of just fleshing out the characters. He knew Darth Vader's history and everything, but it wasn't going to make a movie about that right away. He was always had planned to make this movie, but that's my understanding. I think one of the funniest things I ever watched was that when I'm mixing my Star Wars movies, when was it revealed that Luke and Leia were sisters? It's inferred in Empire, right? And then revealed in Jedi, or when is it revealed concretely?
Revealed, let's see,
in Jedi, right? But in Empire, they hint at it.
When Luke takes off and Ben and Yoda are talking afterwards, they say, "Well, that's the boys' our last hopes." No, there is another. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, Sasha. Yeah, go ahead.
So what happened was, I remember like Channel 5 in New York City. There's a couple on TV, and they have a whole Star Wars wedding. So it must have been before Jedi, and they're like everyone's dressed up as Star Wars characters, and they got married as Luke and Leia in front of the movie theater, and then went in to go see Jedi. And I'm thinking, we never got to find out what happened when they're in the movie theater and they find out they just got married and they're really brother and sister. I like felt so bad for them because you could tell, with that, watching some of the original trailers too. They're like the romance between Luke and Leia. There's romance, and they're showing Luke and Leia, and it's definitely inferred that there's a love triangle there. So they would never have done that if they had known that they were going to end up being brother and sister. It is kind of creepy when you watch some of those scenes again.
You can make fun of them now, but Sasha, yes, I like the landing struts of Millennium Falcon. I'll make Mark jealous. My Millennium Falcon has plenty of struts on it. The struts feature prominently. They feature prominently on my Millennium Falcon. What do you got, Mark?
Let me grab it here.
While you're getting that,
I've got another one on a Ozempic here. See, so that's from that toy line.
Junk.
So my nephews had this, and they're now they're like 14, 15, and like, oh, that's such a cool aluminum Falcon. And they're like, you want it, Uncle Mark? I'm like, yeah, I'd love this. This is so awesome. So it's like, it's a tool, it's that those these here. What were the Galactic Heroes line?
Yep.
This figure line.
Yep,
I bought those. These figures are so fun.
They were so cool. They were coming out all kinds of stuff. I mean, really.
Yeah, I got Leia here. I bought the kit. I bought the kids like Breck just kept buying these freaking figures, and the Marvel ones too. They had like a Marvel line that was almost like the same thing. Where's my Ewok? Or did he get eaten? Oh, here's the Ewok. Yep. Yeah, these are really cute figures. So I think this opens up as like a cargo carrier. Let's see if I can still open this up. But yeah, it's a fun here. So it opens up and it's a play set on the inside, and just got to watch out for Chewbacca ripping the arms out of your socket. But yeah, it's a fun, cute little play set. So this is actually in our living room right now. Yeah, you even got shit. Damn it. Damn it, Mark. You even got the training. The training.
Yep.
And that you spin this and you can train as a Jedi. So fun little fun. And I think this all folds down, and yeah, it's a fun play set. You got the chess set here, but it's in the dining room. We have like this really nice hutch with all our china, and I put this like on the way top, and my wife can't reach it. And she's like, "You got to get that out of there." I got this in our dining room.
I tell you, that chess set features prominently in a lot of things, even the real big Millennium Falcon. No, Figgy, I've only been to Galaxy's Edge once. And I did not know that there's a miniature Falcon on the big Falcon, but no, that would be cool. Send me a picture sometime when you're down there. Sashi has both the 3-strut and 5-strut Millennium Falcon Bandai small model kits. Well, I'm going to show you something cute here. This is before Anthony Daniels signed it. Mrs. talked about this on her show a while back because, it's a Build-A-Bear and it's a C-3PO costume.
That's so cute.
Yeah, and there's a story where we got a picture of my oldest with Anthony Daniels had gone around the floor and actually did a free photo, like in the middle of the floor. It's like, wow. It's like, so we actually the next year went back with a professional developed picture and had him sign it. And there was a little bump with our youngest and stuff. He kind of regretted it. You understand, because he needed the table and not get bumped because he's got a beautiful signature, as the missus said. And he said, "It's quiet." And he actually autographed this costume also. I mean, for free.
Super nice.
Just really, really nice. And that has always left a impression on us. So we got that. Well, no, he did sign. See, he signed on the back side. There you go. There you go. I forgot. Okay.
Very cute.
Very cute. We got there. And an R2D2 football that I got somewhere one year. And of course,
Go Gators.
Go Gators. Yeah. This is from the 70s. My sister made this for me.
She made that? Wow. That's nice.
Somehow they did ceramics and stuff. And we still have it. It still works to this day.
So that's all original artwork, totally handmade. Nothing.
I guess I mean all I
That's
know is one day
talented.
it popped up. Yeah, it's like
No, but like you can't buy that like a fragile
no,
lamp.
I don't
like
think I don't think so. I think it was really molded
from scratch.
From scratch, yeah.
You know,
That's super special.
one of the only aside from the action figures and the little toys, one of the only pieces of Star Wars memorabilia that I remember having as a kid, and I wish that we had. I still had. It got lost somewhere along the way. We had it since probably the late 70s. Was the and according to George Lucas himself, it was his favorite piece of Star Wars memorabilia.
Mm-hmm.
It was the ceramic R2D2 cookie jar.
Oh, okay.
Oh wow.
I have a set of those. I don't know if they were the originals. They're still in my basement in the box, but a set of cookie jars from R2D2. And I also have there was a Sunday when they put the movies back in the theater. I'll grab it in my basement maybe, and it was a potato chip bowl for like R2D2. And when you went to grab the chips, if you hit it, then the R2D would make the beep beep beep, on the chips. There was like a spring in it. So you flip the bowl. I'll go grab it in a second, but you flip it. It was just something Dadman I know would appreciate too.
Yeah, when my parents passed, we were looking for it all over the place because my youngest brother wanted it. We couldn't find it. He's like, dude, that's actually from that time period. That was worth some good money. He goes, I can't believe you can't find it. I'm like, yeah, I don't know. I don't see it anywhere. He finally went on eBay and bought one, but it was bought one. And a newer one, so it wasn't
newer one, yeah,
from way back. So I don't know if it's had the same weight, same value, whatever. But he was up. Well, that's another thing with my parents. They didn't. My father was a pack rat, saved everything, but my mother threw everything away. He was so aggravated because he had all those the original WWF wrestling figures, and when he moved. He finally got a house after college. He's like he came back to find all his stuff. He couldn't find them. She's like, yeah, I threw all those away. Out?
Oh my god! Oh, but look what I found that didn't get thrown away.
Oh, dark.
That's in perfect shape. He's in one
favorite
piece.
Figure.
He's in one. But Dadman doesn't mind Darth Maul in one piece.
This is true, and as long as he's in one piece, yes.
The Comtech cards. Darth Maul did he have one line in the movie? I think, but he was such an iconic character.
What did he say? At last we will reveal ourselves to the Jedi. At last we shall have our revenge.
Yeah. But these figures I have the whole batch downstairs with the Comtech figures. So you had this chip, and you put it on this little controller. There's the Comtech reader, and it would say all the phrases.
Right, I remember those.
It is really good. I mean, it's really good. They're really fun, and I think I've got all the figures. You must have bought all these figures.
Listen,
too,
I'm going to tell you here real quick. This is the guy that should be Darth Maul because he doesn't say much. He's very soft-spoken. Get good, Gen X guy. Gen X, dude. Get good yourself. But no, Mr. Man, a few words, but yeah, no, Mark, turn the bastard around real quick.
Open it up. Yeah, I'm not. Well, I have like 3 or 4 of these.
And Tom has it out of the package. Well, listen, open it, Mark. Yeah.
Well, I have it open. I have it out of the. This is the one that hangs on my wall.
But still,
right next to me.
He's a third-rate friggin' piece of crap. Sith apprentice never should have friggin' lived after the friggin' getting cut in half.
I disavow him living.
I know that the rebels did all this stuff. I know all this stuff. Apparently his hate kept him alive. My God, there were greater Sith Lords that died. They contaminated bodies because of dark side energy. They could not live outside of certain holocrons and stuff and temples.
Yeah.
Even the Emperor Palpatine could not live in clone bodies. That's why he wanted a Skywalker kid. But this son of a beaver head can magically do what none of those guys could do because he's mad at Obi-Wan, cutting him in half.
Hey, Dadman.
What?
Get over it.
Dadman, can you post that as a short? Because I think you get 1 million views on that if you posted that as a short. I think you should clip that and post that as a short.
Probably so. Good night, B from O. I'm sorry if I missed saying hi to you, but hey, thanks for being here. I mean, if you need to wake up, I'll wake you up right now. Yeah. Oh, and agree. Boba Fett, they bastardized him. We got great characters that were overplayed and used too long in the wrong situations. So,
well, see, Mark knows. Mark is the consummate collector. See, whenever you buy something, you buy 2 of it, one to leave in the package and one to open and play with.
Yeah, I got a bunch of these opened up. Yeah.
Dude, the bastard should have died and stayed dead. And I like what Buddy said, though. I would say Buddy's right about Boba Fett. They did not use him properly. He could have been a great character for what they needed him to. Yes, Lemon Pie. Yes, my favorite freaking character. Friggin' dumbass Darth Maul, piece of crap, died cut in half by a Jedi apprentice, a Padawan for that matter. And he's like God's gift to crime lording and everything now.
Well, I always had a problem with that death. Like Obi-Wan says in the Revenge of the Sith, give it up, Anakin. I have the high ground. Well, Darth Maul had the really high ground there. How the hell did he pull that off?
Exactly. Oh, he magically flew up and cut him in half. Oh, let your guard down, dumbass. You deserve to die permanently and forever. So, yeah, I will, Gen X. It's that damn important to me. Jeff, I'm sorry.
So
well, Jeff, you got any comments? The quiet guy.
Dadman, what do you recognize this?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So this is pretty cool. So this is I got this up in Maine, and the place is called Maine Mystic. I don't know if anyone wants to try to buy one, or they sell these. So the cool thing is, all these images, they were copyrighted and patented, but there's a time limitation on them. The patent expires. Yeah. So all these are in the public domain. So companies can grab those images that, from the glasses and everywhere and print them. So I saw this in, one of those like local small little art shows or, community shows. And I'm like, they had all these great, like $6 million man, all these toys. So I'm just trying to, make you feel good about something. I won't show.
Okay, folks, be sure to hit that like button for us tonight. You guys are coming. We're between 13 and 16 people. I saw 18, but listen, folks, feel free to say hi, opine about your Star Wars memories for us with us. And great to see a lot of people here. Pop Culture Republic, don't hold back. Yeah, this is I'm finally going to let go on Darth Maul for.
Well, why don't we have a poll on? You should put a poll about Darth Maul in the chat.
Okay, well, let's see. Yeah, buddies. See, let me.
Is he better in 2 pieces or 1?
Yeah, George said for both Boba and Maul, he didn't realize how popular they were. He did. He just wanted a villain of the week per movie, like the old serials for toy sales. Yeah, and that's the problem. That's why you don't kill somebody off like that, because once they're gone, they should be gone. And Django Unchained. Yeah, that's a good movie. On a different thing.
Maybe next they'll bring Han Solo back.
Good. I can.
Well, you never should have died to begin with. These are some of my favorite posters, and these are Mondo posters. These are knockoffs, or I don't know if they're legal. But I'd missed buying. I was at work, and I was trying to buy the set, and I went for the set, and they only made like 200 of these, and then they sold out. But
Tom, send it to West if you don't mind, because that way it'll be able to be shared easier. Sorry, Mark. Go ahead.
That's okay. Yeah. So this is Ali Moss, and these are some of the coolest freaking posters ever. And normally they're movie theater size.
That one is really cool. That's a cool one, right there.
That cool Return of the Jedi. And so these are really the original ones are unobtainium, but they've since been. I saw this at a comic book convention. I'm like, I'm buying these, and I thought I could fit them on the wall somewhere. But I got to find some wall space. But I just love these, because it tells a story. That's Cloud City and Boba Fett, and then you've got just all these cool scenes in these. So. If you Google these, like the Mondo versions, they're just ridiculously priced right now. But these knockoffs are really cool. So, it's just a really great design. So when I remember seeing them, like, I got to get these, and they sold out like instantly. You click to buy something, and it's like sold. I was like, oh,
yeah. Pop Culture said it. There's just some cool mini posters and stuff. Yeah, I agree. Mace Windu left some doubt, although they said he's dead. Now, I love Boba Fett as a character. I really do. But when you bring him in, but they said even tomorrow Morrison was commenting about that they had him talk too much. And, of course, it's showing his face. Mandalorians never showed their face. They continued that with Pedro Pascal with gotta show his face and all. Okay, Jeff, I know you've been quiet. Let me try to bring you in here for a little bit because we'll touch on a little bit on this about the storytelling with Disney that we've got coming up again. You know, I mean, to me, this is one way that they've contaminated the story, the legend of the story, because they're just changing things for actors or appearances. But is this an example of bad writing, or is there more to it? Just that
you can make good writing with a subject that is maybe not favorable to the audience. You can still make it work as long as you write it well. I blame the writers for not being creative enough. One of the things that you could probably point to as like a good example is with the Mandalorians, for example. And you and I are going to be talking about the Mandalorians in depth during the storytelling stream, so I won't spoil too much here. But one of the things that is a problem is that there is no solid foundation about who the Mandalorians are, and there's like 2 or 3 different origins for everything in there. And so you have to pick and choose which one you want to run with. You're going to go with what is referred to in books in terms of the films or the TV shows. And currently, because of who's in charge, they went with the TV shows. And as such, it has some inconsistencies with the movies. Well, if you went with the movies, then the people of the TV shows would get upset. And the people of the books are upset as well. So you can find a way to merge them all together. It just takes a bit of creativity.
Right. Stunnings's kind of touching on that. The problem originally, he didn't think the mask thing was a rule because Clone Wars and Rebels, Catan and Sabine take their helmets off all the time. But no, that's where the TV has changed what the lore was. The canon was that the Mandalorians rarely, if ever, took their helmets off. And you go in there, and then you got all this stuff here, and that's one of the frustrations a lot of people, even I have. I don't want to have to watch cartoons and this show and that show to connect the whole universe together, especially with movies and stuff, and just independently change things like that. But see, I'm also willing to branch out. I do not think that if they just took the EU and made movies based strictly on the EU as written, it would have worked either. Because there's good EU, bad EU, and not everything translates to a good movie. And if people know the plot line, how it's going to work out, it's kind of anticlimactic.
So I'm very much against the TV show or the EU canon of the Mandalorians. Mm-hmm. Jango Fett is the definition to me of who the Mandalorians were. I believe, based upon George Lucas's original plan, is that they seem to have been a broken race. He was one of the last of them, if not the last. And if you notice in the movie, he takes off his helmet all the time. It is not part of his code. And George Lucas understood this guy has a life. You're not going to be able to live in armor. You're going to be sweating something fierce. It's impossible. So he made him very real by having him with his armor and without his armor. Mm-hmm. The movies got it right. The TV show wanted to make lore. But see, when a lot of fans make this mistake, they'll make lore accurate stuff, and it lacks one very important thing: logic. Yeah. That's where a good writer has to come in and save the day. He has to look at the lore and say, okay, here's where it makes sense, here's where it doesn't. If you went with lore accurate for everything, you'd make a very small number of people happy. I know that the people that would get upset about that stuff would probably be up in arms saying, no, it's impossible. The number one thing you have to try and appeal to is the core audience and to expand it into another audience. Because why would you leave the comic books, for example, and go into movies? You want to expand your audience. Why would you go from TV shows into movies or into books? You're trying to expand your audience. So you have to find a way to work it in so there's that logic. If you lack that logic, new fans are not going to buy into your story.
Well, yeah, and he did. If you look in the prequels, how Jango Fett took his helmet off, it was almost always in private. I mean, so you could keep that whole thing where they said that the Mandalorians didn't reveal their faces, but he didn't live 24/7 in the armor. So
when you're on the mission,
Yeah.
Have it like this. Do a flashback. They should have done flashbacks in the Book of Fett. Listen here, boy. Never take off your armor. Never take off your helmet. As long as you're on the mission, someone can shoot you. Someone can snipe you. Just like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then you give a lore reason why you could have both. People that see the Mandalorians think, oh, they never take off their armor. But then you know from inside the Mandalorians' culture, no, you do take off your armor just whenever you're on the mission. Only time people see the Mandalorians are when they're on mission.
Yep.
Well, let's do this. Let's jump over to Empire Strikes Back now.
The worst of all the Star Wars movies. The worst.
What?
I'm kidding. That's the Wrath of Khan, man.
What is this guy? I did invite our friend JT on, but he's busy tonight, so he could come and say that. But what are your first thoughts about Empire? See, I only saw it one time. My mother farmed me out to a cousin to go to see it, and I only got to see it one time in theater. That's why when the 40th anniversary, I made sure I watched it multiple times. It's probably my favorite of all the movies. A lot of people think it's moved, even though I tell you what, as about a 10-year-old at that point, it was a traumatic ending.
Yeah,
I was always used to good wins at the end. The first movie too, and the hero wins, and it was like what? It was like very hard for me to deal with, and I'm like mad. And it took rough. 3 years to get ready. Mark, what are your? I mean, what were you when you saw Empire? How did you think?
Well, yeah, that's a good point because you were shocked. You're like, the good guys got to win, right? And of course, the ice base on Hoth gets overrun by AT-ATs, and of course, this is an original one from totally realistic to the movie. I think this is Burger King or McDonald's, but like they're on the run the whole movie. So you had that great space battle. Talk about one of the great openings, and then I love those the cut scenes with the Wampas, right? That we see those after. You can see why they left them out, but Luke has that great that great scene, and and then I love that, and you think Luke is dead, right? And Han goes out to save Luke, and just an amazing start. But they're always on the run. They're always getting their ass kicked. And what a great movie. In the end, it's hope. There's a little note of hope at the end. Luke loses his hand. That's what I kept saying. Like Rey, like what body part is Rey gonna lose? So you had that the hero's journey, and meeting Yoda. I mean, just how incredible is Yoda? A puppet brought to life. You think it's a real character, and everyone considers that as one of the best, probably the best Star Wars movie, right? I mean, I think the first experience of seeing Star Wars as a kid in the movie theater, it's a phenomenal movie, but Empire is the better film, and you always love that hero's journey too, in terms of you got talking about good storytelling. Because it means that much more, in the last movie when when Luke wins, and we'll get to Jedi, but it just shows you that whole character arc. So that's why you just love that story just so much. It's just so good. It's just up and down, and then the love, then Luke, and then you find out, Luke, the Luke, Leia, Han Solo triangle, and Han fighting with Leia. Just the characters are just so damn good. And I did see that in the movie theater too, of course, but I think I only saw it once. And it's just those movies were just. I think the closest thing to it in recent times is probably Endgame or Infinity War. Infinity Wars. Some of the Avengers maybe, in terms of like being hyped in a movie theater, like when Captain America shows up. When to fight. The train goes by and then flashes and you see it's Captain America. Everyone in the movie theater went nuts. So like we had that same kind of experience, in Star Wars, and not so much in Empire because they're getting their asses kicked.
Yeah. Let me do some JT Kirk. Hell, Captain, how are you today, JT? Good to see you as always. Jeff only has a few minutes left. Jeff, what about you with Empire Strikes Back? What did this movie mean to you? What are your recollections with this?
Well, I like the fact that they were on a frozen winter wonderland world.
Yay.
Alaska.
Yeah, pretty much.
You just need some tauntauns up there now.
If I was to say, we do have them. They're called polar bears. But if I was to, I always like the middle of the story the best. No matter what it is, I very much favor the middle of the story, because the beginning has already happened, and you're not looking forward to the end. You're kind of more invested in the story. You're not ready to close the chapter on it. You're enjoying the world that has been created too much, and so a cliffhanger is great. But what I would say is the thing that stood out to me was not even the thing like, I am your father, because, well, that was spoiled for me, along with every other kid after that movie came out. So that wasn't the big reveal to me. It was the plot and the chase that was taking place. That was what was kind of standing out to me. And so I didn't know what to expect as we went from world to world. So that to me was what I remember the most, and one of the reasons why I found it enjoyable, because we went all over the place.
Yeah.
All those new worlds are so fascinating.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. They were all compelling. They all had compelling stories. That's what I felt was missing. And even, The Last Jedi for sure, with this big battle on Crate and this salt planet. But we won't go down that avenue tonight. Maybe on the 25th, I'll do another stream and we'll talk about some of the other stuff. But Jeff, let me make sure to get you in real quick, because we're going to talk about Jedi also, Return of the Jedi. Any thoughts on Return of the Jedi? Because I know originally it was supposed to be titled Revenge of the Jedi, but then they changed the name because Jedi wouldn't take revenge and things like that. But of course, we got the Ewoks too. So
there's something interesting about when you're developing a story, and this kind of actually goes back a little bit to when we were talking about Luke and Leia's relationship, because many times you as a writer have an idea, and you're not sure how you want to try and pan it out. If I remember right, Leia was supposed to be like two separate people, and then just for time and a number of actors, you're like, okay, let's merge them into one. But I remember hearing about all the different ideas George Lucas had that he kind of retconned, sometimes movie to movie, sometimes looking back on it when he would do his edits. There's a lot of retconning that he would do. And the problem is that when you're making a story in the moment, you don't know how things are going to turn out. One of the great things about a film like Lord of the Rings is everything was pre-planned by decades. And people had a very good idea of what that world was like. Harry Potter has some of those moments where there's consistency and then there's inconsistency. And part of it was that it was still coming out. There wasn't a chance to create the whole thing from start to finish, say this is the plan, and move forward with it. What works for one movie doesn't necessarily work out when you get to the next plot point. And I've found that myself when I'm doing my own writing. I'll have an idea. It gets to a point where I'm like, yes, this is a good story. I'm getting ready to move forward with the next part. And then I realize, oh, dang it, I have written myself into a corner. And then you have to go back and correct all of that. George Lucas didn't have that ability, unfortunately. I'm sure he would have a very different approach now that he has the whole story planned from start to finish.
Especially with Darth Maul,
Mm-hmm. So
they never would have killed him, yeah.
Because then actually they would have. They would have.
You think they would have?
There would have only been two Sith. You had to keep the two Sith, which is one of the reasons why no Jedi survive Order 66. Absolutely zero, because you had the rule of two. The Force was balanced. So suddenly you have two Sith and two Jedi. And then Luke comes along, and the balance is tipped once again in favor of the light side.
Yeah. So I mean, that's another thing that changed too, was that all of a sudden with the Mouse trilogy and everything else, or more and more Jedi popped up as having survived.
Yeah, there are a lot of people survived Order 66. I guess didn't they say Ahsoka technically wasn't a Jedi?
Yeah.
So then,
yep.
But even though Yoda, the reason why he was on Dagobah was that tree had such dark side energy. They say that he was able to mask himself and his presence by the offset of that dark side energy. That's why he was able to survive. Now, I not really heard great explanations about Obi-Wan in the middle of Tatooine, other than maybe that Vader never wanted to go back to Tatooine unless he had to. But go ahead, Jeff.
Yeah, because technically, just ask this nerd Star Wars question, because you guys know Star Wars more than me. So I guess it should have been just Yoda and Obi-Wan surviving, and that's it, right? No one else other.
Only
that's it, right? Yeah, and maybe you could explain Ahsoka, like she never got her, became a full Jedi, right?
Ahsoka would have died immediately. The reason why is because she was created as a direct contradiction to George Lucas's plan. She could not have been an apprentice of Anakin because he wasn't a master.
Right. Yeah, that's true too.
So she shouldn't exist. Period. I don't put any stock in the TV show.
Gotcha.
But so I will say with Return of the Jedi, it used to be Revenge of the Jedi, but in the process of writing it, George Lucas is like, this isn't what I want the Jedi to be about. They're not about revenge as the Sith. And so thus, of course, you have changes like that. And sometimes it comes up with an idea that some people love and some people hate, Ewoks being some of them. But I would
they were supposed to be the Wookiees, right?
They were supposed to be Wookiees, and they looked at their budget and they said, this isn't possible. But that's why they had giant trees all over the place. It would have been great if it was Wookiees. Curse the budget. But it made a whole new set of lore. Yeah. So Return of the Jedi was a great conclusion. I really wish we could have... I really wish, though, that it was a little bit longer. I feel like there were some areas that could have been fleshed out a little bit more.
Right, yeah. Well, we got 17 people. Make sure you smash that like button, folks. Make sure you're subscribed. Which parts would you have extended then, Jeff, about that movie specifically?
I would have extended portions of the empty space, the stuff where the plot line becomes words, because action is fun, but it's the quiet parts that really give weight to a story. The best parts of any story cannot happen without those quiet moments. And I feel like there needed to be a few more quiet moments early on and towards the middle of the story in order to try and help expand the plot a little bit more than, hey, let's just go destroy the second Death Star. They could have done more in which they could have helped the audience to become familiar with why there is a second Death Star. They could have gone back to Coruscant. They really should have done that. Go back to Coruscant, even though it wasn't really known at that time. Go to a place in the Empire to show how the people there are living. So you don't just see it from the rebels' perspective. You see it also from the people that they're about ready to destroy their whole world. They are living under the Empire. Were they happy? Were they upset? Maybe they were completely blind to what was going on. Take a moment to see it from their perspective before you tear the whole thing down. That's why.
Welcome it. I got you. Welcome, Peter Venkman, fan site. Yay! At least now the Ewoks aren't the worst thing to happen. Yes, great to see you, my friend. And then, of course, Buddy says Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan changed from the original title from The Vengeance of Khan to avoid confusion with Revenge of the Jedi, and then George changed Jedi to Return after that. So
yeah, oops, yep,
confusion. But hey, I remember you told me about that, how Clobby hated the Ewoks, Mark.
He hated Return of the Jedi, but then he grew to like it later. He's like, oh, now that I've seen the new stuff, but he always complained. I wish I had like a breakdown of what he said about because I always love Return of the Jedi so much, and great experience again at the movie theater. And it was just so much fun. Yeah. Take care, Tom.
Good night, Tom.
And I just fixed my troop carrier.
I've seen that troop character. Wrath of Khan sounds better. Star Wars Wrath of Khan was meh, you know.
You're good thing I don't have the control there. I just booted you. But this thing is this was a Sears exclusive, and thanks to Retro Blasting Video, I was able to take it apart. There's a little mini record player in this, and you push the button here. There's a record player, and it spins, and it goes to the section on the record player. I don't know if you guys can hear that through the.
Yeah. Let's see.
Could you hear that?
I don't
kind
hear
of.
it. I don't hear it.
Oh, I have to turn off the echo cancellation, or
Yeah.
let me turn that off here. Settings.
Yeah.
But so there's a little mini record player, and they reduce background noise. I'll turn that off. So here we go. There's one set for stun. So there's this little mini player. So these buttons, there's a gear system. There's R2D2. So it finds the spot on the record player to play the record or play the sound effect or the voice.
Oh, wow. That's something.
So it's really high tech for, a mechanical system.
Definitely for the time.
The C3PO is the best one, yeah.
Yep.
Or this one's C3PO, yeah.
I love
so you can imagine as a kid, it's all analog, and this is one of the coolest freaking toys ever. And now finally, it is in the Mandalorian. It made it into the movie theater, into the canon. And then this is a troop transport. It opens up, but I never want to. It's so old, I don't want to flex it all the way. I just
they will fall apart. I have a plastic Chewbacca with the rubber bands have gone so wonky in it. It's lost all elasticity.
And this is terrifying too. I know Jeff's got to go, but this is the torture unit that you would put on the figures, and they explain it in the thing. So you put this on and you torture. It's like a torture unit as a toy. It's like, God, we were rough in the 70s. So you put that on the characters and explaining it like how you torture them. It's like, oh God.
Crazy. Well, speaking of that, we're going to look at some more things in just a second. Jeff, thanks for coming in tonight. Appreciate your input.
Glad to be able to stop by and have a pleasant time carrying on the conversation.
All right. Well, thank you for being very random, because that sometimes happens around here when we go live at a moment's notice. So.
Take care, Jeff.
Take care, Jeff. Thank
right,
you. And that's the great Alaska Jeff. So, yeah, we did not mess up in our generation with toys, for sure.
Yeah. Oh, let me show my shirt, too.
Yeah, I know you were on a stream earlier tonight for Star Wars. You really are loaded
Carbonite.
up.
Yeah, it was that 70s rock fan. So that was.
Did y'all see
did
y'all see the refrigerator? I don't know if it's AI or what, but the ideal refrigerator has like Han Solo and Carbonite. Yeah,
that's freaking awesome. Yeah.
Well, let me share some things here, and we're going to talk about your memories. We talked a little bit about Empire. Did y'all both finish your comments on Empire?
No, I didn't.
You didn't get to go.
You guys were talking about Empire. It's a great movie, but of the real Star Wars, the original 6, it's my third favorite. It's only my third favorite, and I know it's sacrilege. But my second favorite is Jedi. My first favorite is one of the prequels. It's Revenge of the Sith. I love that film.
That's cool.
I don't know. I just love it.
A lot of people love that movie. Yeah.
Good night, JT. Hope you
take care, JT.
Well. Yeah, take care. Well, I loved the hard part with Empire was it's the first dark ending to a movie I had ever seen.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was possible. And I'm sitting there like I hated it for the longest time. I'm like, why? The good guys didn't win.
Well, Lucas mentioned about that. He said when he made Empire, he wanted to do Star Wars kind of in reverse. Because if you notice, the big battle scene is right up front in Empire, as opposed to in Star Wars, it's at the end and it's a triumph. And he wanted instead of the rebels going from victory to victory to victory, he wanted them to go from defeat to defeat to defeat. And it did. They spent the whole movie in Empire getting their behinds handed to them. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was definitely a culture shock for me, for sure.
But
so
being a huge war film buff, I love my war films.
Yeah,
I love the battle scene on Hoth. It's one of my favorites. I love it.
It was awesome. It was awesome. Yeah,
and I've seen fans doing AI extended versions of the battle scenes on Hoth.
I've seen that.
Some of them are really good, and it's. I wish it had been a little bit more extended. It was awesome. Man.
I will tell you, my thing is not in the mouse. My thing is in the fan fiction, the AI, even if it's AI, whatever. They've got some great things. Even Darth Maul as an apprentice was a very good show, and I liked it. But it's who knows? It's kind of the dead, apathetic point with things for a lot of people, but then it's neat. It's still got some interest for others, but we'll see. We shall see what happens with the future. I'm going to show a few more items real quick, then we'll talk about Jedi, and we'll probably go wrap up very soon because we're at 11:30, an hour and a half. These are those characters, Mark.
Let's see here.
This is the mail-in thing from Canada.
Oh God, I want that.
The only problem is I lost my original Han Solo or had it stolen or something. So I got my Bestman, but all the rest, and they all have the sabers.
Darth, do you remember the original the original characters, the saber? You didn't put it in their hand; it was retracted into their arm.
Yes, and it had a little tip on it. You can see Obi-Wan's down there.
Yep. Is your
slide
tip?
It. Yep.
Did you still have your tip? Does Obi-Wan still have his tip?
Yep. See,
nice.
Right there.
Well, yeah, because that makes it worth a lot more money. If
Vader has his.
Tip.
Vader has his also.
But Lucas is broken.
Yeah. Look, the Jawa, it wasn't vinyl. It was like some kind of material.
Well, if I remember, the original Jawas had the vinyl capes. They came out with the cloth ones afterwards when people complained that the vinyls looked terrible.
Yeah. Well.
So that's original Jawa, or that's the second Jawa?
What's saying that'd be the second, but I thought it was the first one. It's the only one I've ever had. I
could have sworn the vinyl came first. I could be wrong. I've been known to be wrong before.
But I never saw. I never saw a vinyl Jawa though. That's the thing is, and see, Mark, there's R2D2.
Yeah, so it looks pretty much the same as mine. So, so you got the send away kit, and then that was the base was. You get the base with them, or that was a separate purchase? I'm trying to remember now.
I believe it was a separate purchase for sure. Yeah.
Now those things had the little dials you could rotate the characters on, right? You can
spin them. Yeah, they turn a little
and
bit.
The pegs, yeah. But because they gave you the original card back. It was just a cardboard display basically.
Yeah. But
see, they did that. They did that for the Cantina figures at Christmas time too. They gave you the standee, but you didn't get the figures until after Christmas.
Yeah, because I think the vinyl. Let's see how much is the. I know, like some of these figures, like someone is selling like a original Luke with the lightsaber broken for $20. Is that a good deal?
Yeah, I would say pretty good.
I should buy it.
Yeah. West, I think Tom sent you something.
I forgot to look when you mentioned it. I'm sorry.
That's okay. Take a look at that, but we'll go ahead and go through these a little bit more. But yeah, it's I'm proud of that this one stayed around, so that was good. It's the Twin Pod Cloud card.
Oh, Dadman, sorry to interrupt. You can actually buy a vinyl cape for your Jawa for $3.50 on eBay.
Oh, wow, nice.
And then you could convert them to the right looking Jawa. Then I guess, right? As a purist, I'm just trying to look to see how much the vinyl cape Jawas. Someone was showing one last night.
I just wish I had that deformed Snaggletooth, the one that was taller than he should have been, and all that. But yeah.
Oh, here's one for $40. Not so bad. Yeah.
There you go. Well, here's a Twin Pod cloud car here. Of course, my mom only bought me one of the pilots for it, but this is an interesting thing, the Droid Factory. Now see back here, you can see a lot of stuff we got from Disney with the Vinylmation characters, but this Droid Factory, you could assemble your own droid.
Oh, I love that one. Yeah, that was so cool. Yeah,
my mom did get me this one. As a kid,
that's awesome.
Well, it's funny, is the thing you did not appreciate as a kid, as an adult you're glad you have, because I really didn't I really did not like it was kind of boring, but then again, you're an engineer. You used to work with your hands.
Yeah, I would have loved that. Yeah,
exactly.
I always wanted that. That's one of the toys I always wanted. Yeah.
Yay. Well, you never know, Mark. But Sasha said, I also I spent a lot of time trying to figure out how to launch Boba Fett's missile because the packet said launching missile. Yes. Yes. Oh, Mark shared the eBay link there. Let's see.
Yeah, if you want to get the vinyl cape, the vinyl cape.
Pop Culture said he remembers that Droid Factory. Had most of it. Base is long gone. Well, I got the base and probably some of the pieces that I missed. And a very good early morning from Europe from Mr. Angel.
Hey, Mr. Angel.
Hey, yeah. Sashi wanted the best. Sashi wanted the Bestman Cloud Car, but they ran out of stock, so he got a Bosch vehicle. I did not know that they had a Bosch vehicle, but. So, okay, Tom F sent us this earlier today, and let's see.
I forget what we were talking about when he sent it. I think we were talking about the records.
Yeah, we're talking about records.
That's a CD, maybe. He says it's. I have to look back. Oh God, I closed the window. He said something about they're made of metal.
Yeah,
what he said.
Put it in our group chat. They're metal cards. They're metal cards.
Oh yes, he said the packaging is still sealed, and they're metal cards. Okay, yeah, he's got two pictures here.
Now, why would I'm looking up these Jawas? Why is one going for $60,000? $49,000. I know some of these Jawas with capes are going for ridiculous.
Well,
prices,
you could list things for anything you want. It's a matter of what somebody's going to pay for.
I mean, yeah, like I guess if it's graded like a completely mint one, I guess I don't know, but AFA 8, I guess, so 85, yeah, I guess, yeah, so it's graded, yeah, I guess so. It's a graded one, but wow, some of these prices for the Jawas are crazy. Wowzers.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, Pop Culture has to take care. All right. Did he send it? Oh yeah, this one here, this one here is a what it says on it is the Jedi Knights. The patented metal card set you are holding is an official Star Wars product made under license by Metallic Impressions. Inside are full color reproductions from the original trilogy movies, featuring a scene from Empire Strikes Back special edition movie is included. So they made every effort to create a unique metal card set. And hey, there you go. That's neat. Thank you, Tom, for sharing that.
That's really cool. Yeah.
Exactly. So, all right. Well, let's take a look at where we're going. Let's see. Yeah, Mr. Angel's like, wait, what? That's kind of ridiculous. So, but let me go ahead and let me get back to these real quick, and then we're going to talk Jedi, and then we're going to get out of here.
And I have a couple other things to show too quickly. But yeah.
Yep. All right. We got this one here. We got from the Hoth set. Yeah.
It's like a mounted battleship turret, man. It's freaking awesome.
I know. I love it.
That's so cool.
You could put a dude sitting in the top, and then you could put a guy standing in the body of it too. And it clicked as you turned it. It clicks. And of course, we got another lever that swings. You put a person there, and you can swing the person around, turning side to side. Yeah, we got that. We got. Let's see. Of course, the snow speeder. I love this thing. Lit up really nice. We got a Tauntaun, and of course, this is the old. You remember, I really wanted friggin' metallic, real plastic AT-AT walkers, but this is all I could get for the longest time with the cardboard and the Hoth set with a cannon that was on the side. Do you remember these, Mark? Because see, they also had the Jawa Sandcrawler, which was essentially same cardboard, and basically was the same mold, just like tan instead of white.
I don't remember those, but I mean, there's just been so many great Star Wars toys. But I remember one of the people that I worked for doing the computer work. She did play therapy for kids. And she had all her kids' Star Wars toys, and they had like everything. The all the Jedi stuff. They had the Death Star, like all the play sets, the Ewoks, all the figures. And the kids, when they kept getting older, like, Mom, you realize how much all this stuff is worth? She's like, no, it's meant for kids to play with. And they did it, with play therapy.
Yeah, my mom had that thought. My mom was like, play with it. And then when she saw that I was not playing with it anymore, then she put it up. Because she was a big believer about playing the toys.
Yeah. And not leave them in the box. And that's what, we laugh now, like how everything is so valuable, but how often did something get left in the box? You know, or maybe
Yep.
you know, maybe in a warehouse somewhere or something. But Star Wars is so freaking popular too that it wasn't getting not played with. You know, it's not like a new Doctor Who figure or something.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
a Jodie Whittaker or something.
exactly.
You know,
We
yeah.
had a couple of the land speeders there, and here's the baby. The PS. No, actually, this is not the PS resistance. That is another thing I got. But hey, you got the radar dish here. You got the gun on top, and there's the chessboard. This is on the inside. What was neat with this is also the turret gunner here, right here. You would click as you spun it, but see the trap
Yep.
door like they used in the movie. You could actually put people under there.
That was fun. Yeah.
Cool.
And I did buy the new one when they re-released it.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm buying this. My wife was like, why do you need this? I'm like,
Yeah.
just because.
I
Yeah.
remember that. I remember.
I've got
I
that
love-
too. Yeah.
I love this one. Yeah, before the orange tips on everything, it's like, jeez,
Yeah.
come on.
Han Solo's gun was the most awesome because you know what that's modeled.
It is a
after
real
that,
gun.
That broom handle Mauser. Is it a Mauser?
Yeah, it's a Mauser. Yeah, it's
yeah.
a mashup with added stuff. This is what they did. Like the lightsabers handles are actually flash handles. Astrograph. What's the name? Yeah, flash handles that you know everyone, and they were throwaway items back then.
Yeah.
You know, no. Now they're cost a fortune if you want to find. You know, if you could find one of those because you could make, you know, original lightsaber out of them.
Now this one here, let me see. Let's see.
Well, you know, when we used to play Star Wars, you know, because we were poor, we just took wiffle ball bats and we just beat the hell out of each other with them.
Well, you do what you got to do. You improvise. This one is one I won for the prequel trilogy at Star Wars Weekends many years ago, and Certificate of Authenticity. It's a few. They only created.
That's awesome.
2,500 of them, die-cast metal Republic gunship, including some clone troopers and stuff like that. Really was there winning the contest. Of course, you can see some more of the Vinylmations we were collecting for a while.
But I got to interrupt. Dadman really knows his Star Wars trivia, like some of it. And you were like, "Oh, this." You're telling the story of how you won this, and like, you're answering some pretty tough questions, and you're like, "These were such easy questions,you know." So yeah, don't sell yourself short. You know your Star Wars.
Look, it was one guy and me, and I'm like, what? It was like, what species is Orn Free Taa? I'm like, Twilight. I'm like, I figured whatever. And
well,
then,
that's easy, right?
Well, and then they showed the other guy's answer first, and he said, I don't know what the hell he said. I'm sitting there like, that was all I could do to not start screaming and yelling, like either you're an idiot or yay, I won, because it's like.
Well, like, you know, it's funny. It's funny. People don't always know a lot. One of the trivia questions I get people on all the time, and I don't believe that I cannot imagine any Star Wars fan not knowing it, is the number to the trash compactor that they were stuck in.
Yeah. Yes. Oh,
it's
gosh,
it's 11 a THX 1190. What is it?
Oh, no. The when Luke says open the pressure maintenance hatch on unit number, where are we? It's 326 3827.
See, you're much better than me.
Well, I tell you, you'll want to pine on Peter Venkman's here. Which will be worse, or you'll see more in the bench shop, Jodie Whittaker or Nikuti Gatwa. What do you think? Which one will be?
Gatwa will be. Well, Jodie was worse. Worse is they're just so. At least he tried. Like he tried to have some personality. Jodie was just so one note.
Well, I want to see. I want to see a remake of the prequels, but I want Anakin to be played by that chick that played Wicked. Across from Ariana Grande. Yeah. The anorexic chick.
Please no. Good night, Legatus. We're about to wrap up in a few minutes, but yeah, geez, at least you didn't say the Cynthia Erivo chick. So
that's her. Yeah, that's her.
Oh, oh God.
I said Ariana Grande. Yeah.
No, opposite Ariana Grande. Yeah. No, the Cynthia chick. Yeah. Because I mean, they've been trying to push her and make her, you know, the thing for forever now. So I imagine they're going to try to put her in everything.
Buddy, Leia's held at detention block AA23, cell 2187. Yes.
187. Yep.
I don't know. Why are you cold
there
tonight,
we go.
Peter Venkman? I mean, geez, she got chilled there.
He's on Hoth.
on Hoth. Well, let's take a look again. Certificate of Authenticity. This was cool with Star Wars Weekends. We got Jeremy Bullock to sign this helmet. Another really nice man that we had the honor of meeting in person. We actually met Tamara Morrison also, and Daniel Logan, all of them at Star Wars Weekends. We've seen some at the Star Wars Celebration when they had it there. See, we got Jeremy Bullock signing this Slave One. So, and that's it. That's it that I got here for tonight. So, let's see. Let me go here, shops here and there. The Garbage Master and Galaxy's Edge is also 326-3827. So, the thing. All right, well, guys, let's go ahead and wrap up in a second. We love.
Well, I got
Star
a couple
Wars
things to show.
Okay, let me do. Before you show this, we'll end up with you showing them. What about Return of the Jedi, real quick? Wes, what are your thoughts on Return of the Jedi?
Kit Fisto.
Hey, Wes.
What happened to Kit?
Oh, sorry. I run upstairs for a second because you've been showing stuff to be signed for, and I know it's a little off topic, but it's the one thing that's to me, it's my prized and possession. Here, I got to actually put the camera on for this.
Yeah.
I got the
there you go.
That's okay.
The extended edition of The Lord of the Rings. Brought it, and it was for my mom before she passed. We got it signed by Sean Astin.
Yeah.
Wow. Nice.
At a convention. So,
very nice. Yeah.
Very, very nice. So, no, thanks for sharing that. But Wes, what are your thoughts on Return of the Jedi?
Oh, I've said this before. It's my second favorite film in the entire franchise. Well, I only consider the first six. And don't get me wrong, I liked The Force Awakens. People yell at me for that, but I liked it, and I really enjoyed Rogue One. And I didn't mind Solo. Solo had its moments, and it was all right. But Rogue One was fantastic, and I liked Force Awakens. But the sixth, the original trilogy, and then the prequels, it's like the original 10 Star Trek films. Those are what really matters. So, and of those six, the Return of the Jedi, for the longest time before the prequels came out, before Episode 3, that was my favorite film. I mean, I always imagined myself being Luke Skywalker. That's who I wanted to be. I was like, until they ruined him. But I loved Luke Skywalker. I wanted to be Luke Skywalker. Mm-hmm. Of course, what you want to be and what you actually are is totally different. I want to be Luke Skywalker, but I'm probably more like Watto. But
probably.
But I don't know. That lightsaber duel to me was even better than the one in Empire. That duel at the end. I mean, that was phenomenal. And it's one of the once I didn't appreciate it until I actually had a family of my own and became a father. I don't have sons. I have 3 daughters, but a child is still a child. When Luke drags Vader's body out of the and he's trying to save him, and he has him there, he takes his helmet off, and he's like, he tells Luke to leave him, and he's like, I'm not going to leave you here. I've got to save you. And Anakin says to him, you already have, Luke. You already have.
Yep.
That moment always gets me right here every time. I'm like, oh, that's awesome. It's an awesome scene. So,
what about you, Mark?
Yeah, so Jedi, I just love the open. Talk about kick-ass opening scenes, right? When Luke is finally a full-scale Jedi, or is at the height of his powers there in that scene, fighting the guards and the Sarlacc pit. And I just love that opening, just showing how powerful he is. It shows that you don't know how much time. They don't tell you how much time has gone between the 2 movies, I don't think, directly, but some time has passed, and Luke is even more powerful. And that whole black outfit, I just love that beginning. The Gamorrean guards, and he just uses the Force to fling them away, and he's just at another level. And when the speech to Jabba, let's come to a mutually understandable agreement. You don't want to, you don't want to f with me, right? You don't want to cross me. And just that whole scene, with the Sarlacc pit, and then of course, Boba Fett gets done dirty, as some people say, by what happened to him there, and maybe it's a little too comedic, and that maybe is a nitpick, but it's a little too comedic. But then, of course, fighting the Rancor creature is just so amazing with Luke, and then the guy comes in and he's crying because it's his pet, it's his, and he's crying, "You killed my butt," which is true. I guess he did kill his friend there. But the whole movie and then the climax, I could talk for an hour about it. But
when you mentioned that scene at the Sarlacc pit, one of the greatest scenes. What do you think when he gives that little salute and he throws himself off and R2 ejects the thing? He does that flip. Oh, man,
yeah,
that's
awesome. Great. Yeah, no, that is just so cool. And then he gets shot in his mechanical hand, right? So that's a throwback to the next movie. And he gets hit, and then he's got to wear the glove for the rest of the film to cover up the mechanics there, or the robot hand. But yeah, it's just such a great opening. Mm-hmm. And Leia, kicks ass in that movie. All the controversy over the the bikini outfit she's wearing, but she ends up killing Jabba the Hutt.
Oh yeah,
so
even in
it shows how powerful she is.
Wields that chain and just god, yeah.
Maybe some force powers thrown in there she didn't know she had, but just and the closing, right? When if you've got a sibling or a relative, when Darth Vader says, "Oh, there's another," your thoughts have betrayed you, and then he knows he can kill Luke and flip Leia, and then Luke just loses it, and that's the turning point in the whole trilogy. Luke just lets go of everything and lets go of his fear because he's so scared of, he's fighting his father, and he's pretty sure it's his father, and he knows it through the Force. And as a viewer, sometimes you're doubting it, like, is he really the father? And but that fight in the end is such a great lightsaber duel. When he throws, when Darth turns and throws the Emperor down into the pit to die forever and never come back again.
That's
God would have
though.
seen that.
That's different because he was a Sith Lord and his essence survived, and he was able to transport it to where there was another thing. That's why we have the Thrawn series, because, or was it our Heir to the Empire? I believe. No, I think it was Heir. I think it was Heir of the Empire, but yeah, the Emperor was different. He was not a second-rate Sith Lord.
This is a pretty good book, right, Dadman?
That's a great book. Yes. Yep. I'm losing the blank. I don't think it was Heir to the Empire, but it was.
Yeah.
I know. Maybe it's Dark Empire. I know that.
But we should have gotten those. We should have gotten those as the.
Oh yeah,
I think Heir to the Empire would have been a great.
Yep.
Would have been a great. And then shout out. I'm showing a couple things quick before we go, but shout out to I had a friend Jeff, or Geoff as I joke and call him. That son of a bitch. He took the time to mail me. He mailed me a card, an old school card. God bless him. So it's really special when a friend will take the time, and he wrote. Let me cover up his last name. Not that Jeff cares, but he wrote. Hope you have a great Star Wars day. Hope you are too. T2. May the Force be with you. Yep. So that was pretty super nice of my friend to do. So that was, and I also have, of course, I'm going to go through these real quick, man. But I was showing these before. You got to save the soup cans. Like, that's the kind of collector I am. I save the soup cans.
They're open though. Oh, they're not as valuable. They're open.
Well, they're not as valuable, but
Mark's not going to miss a meal. He's going to eat that soup.
I'm not going to miss a meal. Do I look like I miss a meal? But these are kick-ass cans. I mean, these are awesome. Condensed Campbell's soup. And my wife was teasing me. She's like, "You're throwing those out, right?" I'm like, "No, I'm not throwing these out." And then one other thing to show was of course, we didn't talk about the music, but how amazing the music is in Star Wars. So this is the trilogy set I picked up at a rummage room, or secondhand.
Like I said, I had an 8-track at one point.
Yeah, I've got the 8-track somewhere too. I've got the 8-track of the soundtrack and the 8-track of that the one Star Wars and Other Galactic Funk by Mako, if you remember.
Yeah.
We got that LP. Mrs. had that one. Yep. The Galactic Funk. Yep.
But yeah, so I mean, yeah, you did mention that, but like how good, like how integral this music is.
Oh yeah.
How it makes the trilogy that much that much better. Let me grab my R2 unit here. I was trying to get him to wake up. This is a Sphero R2 unit, and this is a remote control R2. I think I've shown this before a few times, but this thing is freaking amazing. But the app has been discontinued, so I sideloaded the app, and because Sphero lost the license, and then they pulled the original app, but you can still download it. But I'm trying to get him to wake up. There's like a mode, and he's not waking up. Poor R2. And of course, we all had the original VHS. This was this set was just.
Now, don't forget one thing that we did not talk about tonight is a lot of people do May the 4th, but a lot of Star Wars diehards go to May 25th as the real Star Day, the first day that it was in the theaters, which I kind of hold to that one. But
that's
May
the real Star Wars Day.
But May the 4th is fun. It's a good concept.
That's fun. What ship is this, Dadman?
Was that Anakin's?
Is it Santa? No.
No, that's too elongated. Theirs was more stubby and had that looks like the ship that
an orange one.
That looks
no, I don't.
Oh wait! Didn't Obi-Wan fly that to Geonosis?
Yeah, and then you could push this and you can open up the. Oop. There we go. I turned off my hit the keyboard and I turned off my camera. Yeah, you pop off this pops off here, and then it turns into like a kick-ass. I don't know why you would have part of the ship pop off. It's like the guns would shoot.
Battle damage. Peter Venkman hates when people put price stickers on the bear cover. Yep, and your in-laws have the OG trilogy set. Yep.
Yeah, I have a VHS set of the letterbox format of the Star Wars set. It cost me like back in I think it might have been 91, 90, maybe 1990, late 80s. Cost me like $125 back then.
Wow.
And then I think this is, and is this Anakin's?
That's
ship?
Anakin's, yes.
That's Anakin's ship, right? Yeah.
See, because it has in the front, it has that little looks like what's in the front of the TIE fighters.
Yeah. So this is really cool design. I love how they tie them together. Yep. So this, and I think the droid goes in.
Yep.
In
on the
here.
side.
Yep.
Makes
On the
sense. Side, right?
Okay.
Right.
That definitely looks good though, for especially the prequel trilogy.
I don't want to break my original R2 unit, but I don't think
he's meant to go in there.
Yeah, but there's definitely a spot there. That was R2 was there, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Absolutely.
And then this pushes it.
Go ahead, Mark. Go ahead if you got anything else.
I think that the wings open up here. I think Yeah, how do I open?
Oh yeah, they have the little S-foils.
Pop out. Yeah, that's
a
nice touch. Yep. And this was pretty fun. This was my wife bought. It's always fun when your spouse buys you something. So she found it one of these art shows or whatever, local shows. The guy was making Star Wars. This is from scratch. Like he sculpted them out of junk. It was like a junk sculptor.
Yeah.
And it says Boba Fett and Darth Vader. So she was really happy to find that for me. So that was pretty fun.
Nice.
And of course, I gotta show my freak. Oh, I gotta show these. Sorry, Dave. I'm gonna make your show go for like 6 hours.
No, it's okay.
Everyone remembers these.
Oh, the trading cards. Do you have
these? Are some of my.
You have the ones with the blue borders. Yeah, the originals. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, these are some of my prized possessions. Yep. So I have most of the blue set. I'm missing a few. I got to finish that setup.
Yeah.
And this was so much fun because you relive the movie as you collected the cards and you traded the cards to try to get the right cards.
And what was cool about those were like baseball cards. If I remember right, they came with the bubble gum in.
Oh yeah.
Yep, they had all that. Yep.
And all the great scenes there, and it's just the blue set. I just love this blue set. It's just so freaking good.
Yeah, the blue set was the best.
So I left spots where I was missing some of the cards as I collect them. I'll have to fill them in. And then we went to the red cards. And of course, the stickers, I had some of the stickers, but most of the time you put them on your your book or your wall.
Your 3-ring binders for school. You put them on.
Yeah, you put them on the binder. Your Trapper Keeper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
But you just relive the whole movie. And the back actually had if you look at the back of the cards, they had photos and stuff on the back.
Mm-hmm.
So some of them had a trivia
about the scene, yeah.
Or they had a picture, so you'd put them all together, and then you could
make
a
puzzle.
make a scene.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would be like a puzzle, and you could recreate the scene. It would be really cool to put these as a poster, I guess, if you put them all like in a diorama, like made like a box with all the cards.
Yeah, I had some. I did not have that many. I didn't have as many as you have. Wow. Nice.
I just kept buying them. So
I can see why.
Yes,
I remember. I did have that Chewbacca one that you just passed. I remember having that one.
Yeah,
I think I had the whole red set, and then most of the yellow. Yeah, so there was yellow. We can't stay here forever. We could, but here's all the yellows.
I had the Carrie Fisher one.
Well, we have May 25th coming up. We can always do it again on May 25th. Celebrate.
And then we have we had the orange cards.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
The orange cards. I think there's one color that I might be missing. I can't remember. And then they were selling these at Scout Camp, and they were just like, no. That time the Star Wars mania had kind of died out a little bit. So like a couple years later, we just kept buying these cards. They're like, just take all the boxes or whatever, But I have most of the orange. But that's something that's fun as a collector to like chase stuff and then find the whole set. But I do have to complete that blue set. I do have to complete. Now, what else was I forgetting to show?
To me, the blue set was the bomb.
The blue, the first, the blue set. Yeah. Oh, this is cool too. All right, then we'll go. I really like this. This toy was a lot of fun. Or statue.
Oh wow,
this Obi-Wan. I don't know who made this. I can't remember, but this is really And Buddy said, Green was the last series.
I like the old kid stuff, Galactic Heroes and stuff.
Yeah, these guys were the little guys, Galactic Heroes.
Yep, and the ships.
Yeah, they're a lot of fun, and the ships were fun. Yeah. There's no articulate, or did their arms turn? Let's see. And of course I have we're gamers here too, so gotta grab this is Disney Infinity.
Yeah,
I love the artwork on these. These are really good.
Nice.
You got Han, and that was you put
last long, but yeah,
it should have. That game was pretty fun. I thought.
I think
you played Disney Infinity.
But I think when we went, it kind of fell apart. So.
Yeah, so you'd put these on a base, and it would unlock the powers of the characters, like you got.
Yeah, they had a couple of games that worked that way.
Yeah,
I remember my daughter was playing one. My brother used to buy the figures for her, but it wasn't Star Wars.
Yeah. There was a Disney one with all the Disney characters, and then. But there's just the artwork. The art style is just really great on these. I thought I just love these as a design, design aesthetic. Yep. All right, last two. Of course, we got father and daughter.
Yeah. Hey.
And that was what's fun about Star Wars too, because you had, the girls had Leia, right? You could have, and you had, Star Wars is mostly, skewed obviously as a guy's, young boys brand. But like my sister, every year I give her something to do with Princess Leia as like a joke gift or a fun gift, for the holidays. So, and she buys me something small, but you can see, I'm like, do I have that much Star Wars stuff? And I'm looking around my room. I'm like, I do have a lot of Star Wars stuff.
You're one of the few people really balanced between Star Trek and Star Wars, though, Mark. I will say. Go ahead, West. Sorry.
Well, with the they say Princess Leia, it was still the damsel. I understand they did the whole rescuing the princess thing. She was not helpless. She was by no means helpless the entire movie.
Well, it's like they said in the original movie. They said she was resisting the torture. Incredibly strong. Even
the mind probe couldn't break her. Yep.
Yeah, and that's why. Oh, I have one screen share to do. Dadman's going to kill me. But
I'm going to have to go to bed in a minute.
Yeah, no, I got to get to bed early tonight too. But this was a maquette that kind of got me into trouble. So, and I'm going to share two things real quick. But Let me share this. So I have this on my shelf, but I can't reach it because it's I might drop her. So let me share my screen here. And my wife was giving me flack for this one, which is funny. Well, just because of the way she's drawn. So when you see her, you'll. So does that Star Wars maquette?
Oh,
really well done. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
so
cool.
She's like, I don't like the way she's her figure is done there.
She's drawn like anime style almost.
Yeah, but little curve. So I got a clip to show. It's like a 5-second thing with Carrie Fisher. So let me stop this share, and then share this. Yep. Share this window here. So this was in the Carrie Fisher documentary. I won't share the audio. It's just a couple seconds, Dadman, so it's okay. So I'm like, my wife, I'm like, but Carrie Fisher has a life-size. Look at this. They gave Carrie Fisher a life-size version of this maquette. And I'll just play a couple seconds, right? So then she goes and she grabs it. And it's funny when I'm not playing the audio, but this is in the documentary. And then she's like, I was much perkier back then.
Oh, God.
And she's touching her.
Oh, boy.
But she's got that figure. That's in Carrie. I'm like, so Maureen, if Carrie Fisher has this, it's okay, right?
Yep.
It's okay. Yeah.
So, yep.
So God bless Carrie Fisher. We miss her.
Absolutely.
I love her sense of humor. Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, Jedi was a movie that I liked. I liked seeing the Ewoks fight everybody, and it was actually kind of a cool movie. I actually enjoyed the woodland fights, and that's really cool.
Yeah.
But again, folks, we're going to wrap up. We're going 2 hours, 5 minutes. I'm going to say goodnight now. We will, maybe we'll try to revisit on the 25th. I know it's Memorial Day, a holiday, but you never know. If people are not busy, we can just do whatever we need to do. All right.
Or, Dadman, you can just come over. We can just play with our Star Wars toys like we were kids again and have fights. And here we get the little Legos going after each other.
There
right?
you go. That works.
But that's how you played as kids, right? You just made up adventures and you had your toys. And
you
didn't have
them at each other, pretending they were shooting at each other. So, all right. And that's Let's Get Jeff's YouTube link. Please check him out. Subscribe there. And, of course, there's the missus. She will she will be live in the morning, 10 a.m. So get your daily dose of positivity there with her. And, of course, Dadman Walking 55 everywhere. You see it, so on all the platforms. But, of course, Mark D with a C here. There's a link for him, for his channel. So be sure to go give him some support. All right, guys, I'm going to bed. I got to get some last-second packing left. I just remembered I forgot something. So, everybody, thank you for your support. Thank you for being here tonight. See you at the Missus at 10 in the morning. Bye, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.
Oh, hold on. Nope. Dang it.
Oh, what did we forget?
Oliver Belmonte snuck in here.
No.
Oliver, before Mark, that's the Star Wars.
Oh, thank you, Oliver. Unleashed Hasbro to the. Yeah, that's I just love that design. Thank you. I mean, I forgot what it was. Yeah, 2005. Thank you so much, Oliver. Yep.
That's good. And Sasha's got Squadron of A-Wings, X-Wings, Y-Wings. and thank you, Peter Van Fansite. Thank you for being here, though. We really appreciate you being here every time. And, folks, I'm going to go get some sleep after I pack some things I need to do tonight before I forget. But, everybody, have a great night. We will see you next time. Bye, everybody.
Bye.